I changed, but I don't expect you to change. I expect you to stay the same, is how they feel about you. Good day, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to Milk Honey Rose. I am Mystic Alchemy. Thank you for being here. So they think what is not, because they've been stuck in like this warped idea of you. Yes, you are kind. However, there's only so much you could take. You can't take what you know you don't necessarily need to take. It's not a requirement. So why accept it if it's not really working for you, or if you know that you're putting in a lot of effort and the other person is not? When you start to calculate the result of the equation, it just doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. It's like doing math incorrectly. You're not going to get the right answer because it's the situation is not right. You know, there must be reciprocity. If there's not, then there's going to be an imbalance and something will feel off, because it is. And you notice that you didn't like it. You didn't appreciate it. Especially being that you know you put in the effort to make things work. You happen to be the gas to a vehicle that, of course, cannot go if it is not filled up. Halfway, the gas tank was at one point, and then kept going and going. You decided to stop putting gas in that vehicle, okay? And I'm correlating this gas tank that's half full to the relationship, in whichever relationship this was. So you say, you know what, I'm not going to put any gas in it. Let me just see if this person decides to put some gas in this relationship. Let me just see what they add to us. And you notice that the gas tank just kept on going down until there was nothing left, right? And you really had hope. You really thought, okay, well, if I don't put the gas in, I'm sure that they will. Because I do it all the time, you know. I put all the energy into the relationship, the time, the patience. Let's see what they do. They left the gas just like that. They didn't even check it. They didn't care to. Why should they? You always do it anyway. That's how they were feeling, right? You were disappointed at that point, because it's like, so you proved me right, and I wanted you so badly to prove me wrong. I wanted you to prove me wrong, but I see now that it's me that's making this relationship still active. You know, it's me. It's my energy that I'm putting in that's creating this invisible adhesive when it comes to us. And you get tired. You recognize how worthy you are, I should say. You recognize how worthy you are and how much love you give and attention you give to this relationship. And it's like, what am I even doing? This is not worth any time of mine. So you backed away. You checked out. The crazy part about it is this person never expected you to check out. So they kind of like, it feels like they fell back and started to do whatever. But they never thought you would go. They still want you to stay. They never thought that you would even have it in mind to leave. It's like, then they could say that you're not loyal, but the loyalty stopped with them. And you just followed up. So it's like, how could you say that if you initiated it, right? That's the energy that I'm picking up on here for you. you checked out because you recognized your worth. There was a point in time where you didn't necessarily see your value. You didn't see it. Just because you are who you are and you come with many perks. You just automatically come with many benefits because it's just who you are. It's how you've been made. It's your makeup. It's your code. Okay? It's your sigils. They illuminate in such a way that whoever is around you, they benefit from you. That's why you are now very careful with who you allow in your life. And if the energy is not reciprocated, you know that that is detrimental to you. And that's for anybody, you know. This message is for anybody, because when you know your worth, there's a lot that you don't tolerate. You just don't. Because you know better. You know what that does to you. You know that what that does to a person's spirit. It like puts your spirit out. It takes the spirit out of you. It takes the joy from you. And you're no longer going to allow that type of energy into your life. Okay? Because they didn't perceive you correctly. And they didn't take the time to respect this union that was really only showing up as divine because of you. You made the union divine, and you were waiting for them to invest some time in. How it's like they were there, but they weren't necessarily there. Okay? Because your energy ended up being depleted. You giving, but what are they giving to you? Once you realize that and you're able to answer that question honestly, you know how many people just drop off the map for you, and they become very irrelevant, because it's like, it's actually very sad when you start to recognize who's really there for you, as opposed to who just wants to see, or who just wants to like be clung to you, but they don't do anything for you, and you're doing everything that you can in your power to be there for them. It's just not okay. And you feel invigorated now that you have released yourself from such energy, because you know now that that energy is not worthy of you. The crazy part about it is they don't even have to do, it's like different, because they don't have to do exactly what you do. However, but if they do what they do the way they do it, and you see that they put effort in and they actually care, that is all that matters. It's not like you're asking for like a whole lot, because it's not even like that. It's just, you could tell when someone has respect for you, and when someone is kind of like just there only for the benefit. It's like, do you really care? Can you really see me? If something's wrong with me, would you ask me? Like, if you think something is wrong with me, would you even realize if I have something on my mind? Like, would you even care? It's those little things mean so much. There goes to show how emotionally in debt. I was going to say in depth, but there goes to show how emotionally in debt we become around certain people. And when you're emotionally in debt, that's when you really check out. And this is how you feel about them. If you do resonate with this message and you understand how the decision that you made to move away from this energy has benefited you, and how it's healthy because you made room for someone who is more suitable to walk with you on your spiritual journey, drop it down in the comments below. 888, I declare this is an aspect of my love, because you stood up for what you know is right, and you separated yourself separated yourself from what was there or who was there that was giving you plight. Okay? They created like a emotional disaster when you really didn't have to deal with it and you noticed and you moved on. That's a big deal because a lot of people get stuck there. That's a really tough spot to be in. So congratulations to you for making space in your life for what's new and what's actually meant for you. Because sometimes we could think that we're doing a good thing by staying in a certain situation, but it's not the best. You know, it's like doing it for other reasons. It could be so many different reasons, whatever that may be. However, when you do that, suffering can happen. Okay, so it's like, gotta take the good with the bad and do what's best. Not always what you think is right. That's interesting. That's a brain tickler. Anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you feel my vibe, especially if this message does resonate with you. To book a healthy conversation, you can by visiting www.milkhoneyRose.org. Also, you can join the membership here on YouTube to gain access to additional content. And I'll see you in the next one.